Hi. This video, we're going to finish up the chapter 4 in the spotlights for the book where I'm using. And this one is going to be doing an example about random numbers. Dr. Kimura was so happy with the dice rolling simulator that you wrote for him. He has asked you to write one more program. He would like a program that he can use to simulate 10 coin tosses, one after the other. Each time the program simulates a coin toss, it should randomly display either heads or tails. You decide that you can simulate the tossing of a coin by randomly generating a number in the range of 0 through 1. You will write an if statement that displays tails if the random number is 0 or heads otherwise. Here's the pseudocode. It's going to repeat 10 times. If a random number in the range of 0 through 1 equals 0, then display tails, else display heads. Okay. So we're going to use a for loop for this. Pull up, I've already got Visual Studio Code here. And so I'm going to open my folder. And this one is coin toss. So that's what I'm going to use to store this in. And then I'll get started with the new file. I'm going to call this coin toss.java. So in this particular one, we don't have any input, so we don't have to use a scanner, but we do have the random, so we're going to use that. We're going to import that. And then our class. And then our main. So in here, we're going to have a constant going to be called coin sides, which is going to be 2. So do a final int coin sides, and that's going to be equal to 2. Then we're going to create a random object, call it rand. And then we'll do our for loop. So for rand dot next int coin sides. Oh, sorry, I was on the wrong line there. For int count, and got capitalized on there. For int count equals 0, count less than 10, count plus plus, and we could have used put max run or whatever you want to call it on there and use that for the 10 so it'd be easier to change, but I'm going to do it this way here because this is the way the book has it, and we'll go from there with it. So if that's run the for loop 10 times, we'll do an if statement. If rand dot next int coin sides equals 0, then system.out.println will print tails. Oops. Else we'll print, fix the spelling on my print line up there, system.out.println heads. Okay. So that's everything that we need on this. We're going to go ahead and run it. Looks like I got an error someplace. Exception to thread main, error, unresolved compilation problem. So that doesn't help much. Oh, up here, random, if I'm not mistaken, is going to need a parentheses. Or let me see what I got here. Oh, it needs a colon or semicolon after it. I missed that. Okay, let's try it again. So there we go. We got heads, 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 tails, heads, 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 tails, tails, tails. Okay. Now, I'm going to do a little bit of modification on this program. What if we wanted to see how close the randomization program in Java is to true randomization? If we ran this 100 times, so let's say 1,000 times, we ran this 1,000 times, how many heads will we get and how many tails will we get? Well, we don't want to print all these out. So what I'm going to do is up here, I'm going to put in two more variables, int tcount and hcount. And I'm going to put these as equals 0 to start with. Okay. So now down here, instead of printing these out here, I'm going to delete these and I'll retype them back in again. What I'm going to do here is tcount plus plus plus, and down here I'm going to do hcount. Whoops, do it that way. Hcount plus plus. There. Okay, so now after the if statement, after the for loop, what I want to do is system.out.println we'll do print out the number of heads, and then we'll do the same thing for the number of tails. Okay, so let's see what happens when we run this. Oh, wait a minute, before I do that, let's change the for loop. This is where having a constant up here would be easier, but we can do it this way. And let's run it for 1,000 times and see what we get. We have 512 heads and 488 tails, which is pretty close to 500 by 500. Let's do it for 10,000. Program runs pretty fast. There we go, 5,047 and 4953. So we're only off by 47. So it is pretty random on this. So it does do that. So anyway, so this gives you a little bit more practice with random numbers. So well, next up is going to be chapter 5. So thanks for watching. Bye.